Hi, Chris at SaratogaWine.com here today with one of my favorite producers. This is Brooke Neufeld, the B in JB Neufeld Wines. She's a producer from Washington State, for some very specific places within Washington State. We're going to find out how they make beautiful wine. Brooke, let's check out the first one. We got here your just a straight Yakima Valley, right?
Yes, this is our Yakima Valley from 4 different vineyards up and down the Yakima Valley.
And those are situated, do you care about the sub-AVAs within that? Or just, because is it always the same, or is it a different blend each year?
These ones, the only sub-AVA is Red Mountain. The rest are all considered Yakima Valley. Yakima Valley is the oldest AVA in Washington State, and it's also one of the biggest.
Right, and then how did you and Justin, the J and JB Neufeld, get started?
So Justin and I met in college in Seattle, and he did an internship at Columbia Winery and just fell in love. It was the perfect mix of lab work. He is a huge science nerd, and being able to be outside and in the vineyard and using his hands. He comes from a family of craftsmen, so this is sort of his version of that.
Right, so he gets to play in science and play in nature at the same time, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And he's from the Yakima Valley.
Okay.
So this was kind of returning home for him. So after school, he moved back to Yakima and started working in wine.
So this to me is classic Washington State Cabernet Sauvignon, almost like California meets Bordeaux. A little earthier than California, but not as earthy as Bordeaux. So it's kind of meets in the middle, which is what I really love about it.
I love that description.
That's so good. Again, a real earthy component, but tons of fruit, tons of tannic structure, right? You guys get thick grapes in the Yakima, right?
Yeah, we give a lot of wind that comes through that really thickens the grape skins, and so lends to some really nice tannins.
Now we're gonna move on to the Ciel de Chaval, which is a single vineyard offering. This vintage is 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, isn't it?
Thank you. Yes, it is. The Ciel de Chaval is in Red Mountain, which is in the southern part of the Yakima Valley.
So a little warmer down there?
It's definitely warmer, and we have a great opportunity for the diurnal shift. So it's really hot during the day and really cold at night.
So everything just amplified.
I think that's a great way to describe Red Mountain.
Super refined, super elegant. Maybe a little less forceful, a little less power, but plenty of tannic structure to balance out all that fruit. It's a perfectly well balanced.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I do feel like that is Justin, my husband, is the winemaker, and I feel like that is one of his strongest characteristics when it comes to building a wine, is his wines are very balanced.
Right.
I think he really comes in with what the fruit brings that vintage, and then builds from there.
Next up is the Old Goat, which I assume is not a vineyard?
It is. This is a vineyard designate. The Old Goat is not the name of a vineyard, but this particular wine comes from the James Beard nominated vineyard Red Willow in the Yakima AVA. Mike Sauer is the original farmer, and him and his sons farm the land today. And Mike Sauer worked with David Lake, who was kind of one of the original founders of Washington wine. And David Lake came down and helped him establish where to plant certain varieties. This is the wine where he feels like he can do whatever he wants. So he blind tastes the barrels every winter, and then he picks his top 2 favorite barrels, and those become the Old Goat.
Just 2 barrels make Old Goat?
Typically, yes, because we only make about 150 cases.
Wow. The tannic structure, again, is just, I don't know how you get such integrated tannins at such a young wine, but they're spectacular.
Well, thank you so much.
So these are 3 of the greatest Cabernets that you'll ever have. I think they're probably the 3 of the greatest Washington State Cabernets that I've ever had. You can get them at SaratogaWine.com. Want to thank Brooke for coming by to talk about her beautiful wines and the magic that her husband makes.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here, and thank you for carrying our wine.
Oh, sure. Honored.
Thank you.
Cheers.